Hi, I'm Joe Stani, operator of Harvest in Christ. Here's a couple worm composting bins. Worms, red wigglers, worked their way through food scraps in this bin for about 3 months. I added this screen about a week ago, dug out this side, and added food scraps. I froze these to prevent mold. Banana peels, eggshells, apple cores, coffee grounds. And I covered them with finished compost to keep down odor and flies. After about 5 days, the worms had moved almost completely from this side to this side, leaving virtually worm-free worm compost or worm castings. Then I moved the worms from this side to this setup. This bin has about 10 holes in the bottom. There's a few. It's set on a block in this bin for drainage. In this bin, I prevented excessive moisture by adding finished compost. It's important to prevent saturation because saturated bin becomes anaerobic, and anaerobic compost is pretty much worthless. Researchers have found that worm compost is very high in beneficial microbes, plant-available nutrients, and growth promoters. They've also found that with a 5 to 20% substitution in seed starting mix or potting mix, there's a dramatic increase in resistance to pathogens and insect pests. Last growing season I added about a handful to each hole in transplanting eggplant and tomatoes. Yield was good, and I'm convinced this was part of it. You can also make a bin with wood. This was used to raise chicks. It has a finish on it which may pose some harm. They say to avoid pressure-treated lumber because it can leach into worm compost and harm the worms. Part of the benefit of worm compost is that it's very high in beneficial microbes which outcompete disease-causing microbes. They do this by attaching to roots and leaf surfaces and eating the food that would otherwise be available to pathogens. This is considered sustainable food waste management. It's worthwhile, and I hope this helps.